Welcome back to the cryptoworld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, as the price of Bitcoin continues this larger bearish trend, we are now seeing the price break down in the short term, now invalidating this previous breakout, as the price is also playing out very similar price structure right now compared to what we saw back here, which I'll talk about in just a moment, alongside Ethereum now officially breaking to the downside in the short term, setting up some bearish price targets. So I'll be talking about all of that and more late in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, taking a look at the 4-day Bitcoin chart, and as of right now, the super trend indicator on this time frame is still sitting in the red, indicating a larger bearish trend as of right now. And if we're taking a look at the 2-day time frame, we can still clearly see that at least for now, the price of Bitcoin is still currently within this larger bearish trend, as I've been saying for a while now on the channel. Because as we can clearly see right here, we're still seeing lower highs and lower lows, which is what a bearish trend is. But with that being said, we can still see the occasional bullish relief or shorter term bullish trend during the larger bearish trend from time to time. So keep that in mind. Just because we're within this larger bearish trend, that does not mean we're going to see 100% only bearish price action. We can see some bullish price action here and there, even during the bearish trend. And as for support and resistance for this massive descending broadening wedge pattern, this line of support is currently sitting at around 53,000 give or take, and this line of resistance is sitting at approximately 68,000. And if we're taking a look at this daily Bitcoin chart, as of right now, the DXY is pretty much trading sideways just over the last 1 to 2 days, so we don't really have a lot of new information here in the DXY that's really affecting the price of Bitcoin. So getting straight into this daily Bitcoin chart, and we can clearly see over the last 2 days or so, we have seen a further rejection from this significant area of resistance, sitting close towards around 64,500. And obviously, if you've been watching my videos over the last week or so, you'll know that I've been talking about that level of resistance right there since even before we ran into that resistance. So that is still strong resistance to pay attention to. And we've also just broken back below this previous line of resistance, which should once again act as resistance at around 62.9k give or take. And not only have we broken below that level, we've also now just seen a break below this area of support, sitting in between around $60,000 to 61,000. So technically speaking, that could now also act as a bit of short-term resistance if we are to see any sort of short-term bounce back to the upside. Once again, we could struggle around 60 to 61,000 like what we saw just here. And so essentially the price has fallen back into this sideways price range right here in between that area of resistance as of right now that I just mentioned, and this area of support sitting in between around 56 to 57,000. And now we do have a small amount of support at around 58,000. So that's another level of support to pay attention to. But the main area of support to pay attention to right now, once again, is this area in between 56 to 57,000. And if we're zooming into the shorter term, looking at the 4-hour Bitcoin chart, we can clearly see that just recently, over the last half a day or so, we've now seen a confirmed break back below this point of the breakout right here, this previous resistance, which should once again act as new resistance. And it was temporarily acting as a little bit of support right here, but once again, we have now broken to the downside. And obviously, as I mentioned in recent videos here on the channel, that was the point of invalidation for this breakout. So the moment we started to break back below around 61.8k to 61.9k, once we started to see a move below that level, and especially this 4-hour candle close right here, the moment that confirmed back below around 61.9k, that basically invalidated the bullish breakout, invalidated the price target, and essentially invalidated that bullish trading strategy. And so ultimately the stop loss for this trade was basically to get out of the trade right at around 61.8k to 61.9k, which is exactly what I did. And obviously I mentioned that recently here on the channel that I would be looking to basically exit that trade if we start breaking below this level right here. And so ultimately, when you factor in my average entry price, which is right around here, give or take, and if you look at my average exit price, basically closing the trade right around here, ultimately I took a very, very small loss. As you can see, I basically traded that little move right there. And so by getting out of the trade at the point of invalidation right here, I avoided any further losses. Basically, this major move to the downside, I completely avoided due to risk management. And so this is, of course, why I talk about point point of invalidation where basically a breakout trade, for example, would invalidate at a certain point of invalidation, because obviously it's impossible to win 100% of the trades out there. There's always going to be some losses here and there, but the whole idea of trading is not to win 100% of the time, is to keep losses small and to keep wins large. Like for example, just a couple of months ago, if you're on the channel right around here, obviously I traded that move to the upside and pulled in a decent gain. And so once again, the whole idea of trading is to make much larger wins compared to the smaller losses that you might be making. So ultimately, one winning trade can more than make up for any losing trades. And just before talking about what I now expect for the price of Bitcoin moving forward after the latest dump, first of all, if you want to trade any of these moves in the price of Bitcoin or any other crypto, personally, I take just about all of my trades over on Bybit. So I'll make sure to leave a link to Bybit down below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link down below this video to make a Bybit account and deposit on that account, then you can get up to a $30,000 deposit bonus, but only if you use that link down below this video. And also, if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here, which is a massive lucky draw happening right now over on Bybit, only for the next month or so, by the way. And with this lucky draw, you could potentially win up to $100,000 just by trading crypto using the link down below this video. And so if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out. Once again, first link down below this video. But for whatever reason, if you cannot access Bybit or if you cannot KYC on Bybit, there's another exchange called Bitget right now, where there's currently a 5,500 USDT deposit bonus if you use the link down below this video. And also, if you use that link down below this video to Bitget, you can get a 10% discount on all trading fees on the exchange, but only if you use that link. If you don't use that link, you don't get that fee discount. And once again, Bitget has no KYC requirements, which basically means if you're in a country where you might not be able to access Bybit, you should be able to access Bitget. Once again, link down below this video as an alternative exchange. And with that being said, taking a look at this chart once again, and we can see that right now on the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI, this is entering into oversold territories right now for the first time basically since the beginning of the month. And we can see back then when the RSI entered into oversold territories, that was telling us that we're getting quite close to some sort of local low in the price before soon seeing a bounce in the next few days or so. And so once again, this means that it's very likely that within the next 1 to 2 days, the price will find some sort of low right here, whether that's right here or whether we go a little bit lower. Either way, over the next day or so, we're likely going to find the local low in the price and see some sort of bounce within around 1 to 2 days as the most likely scenario, just based on this RSI right here. And as for support levels to watch out for, we do have an important level of support at around 58,000 based on this low and this low right here, and more support at around 57,000 right here. And it's extra important for the price to hold above these lows right here due to the fact that we're seeing very similar price structure right now compared to what we saw back here during around mid-2020. And now with that being said, it is important to mention that this is 2 different time frames right here. So on the right hand side, this is the 4-hour time frame, and this is the daily time frame on the left hand side. But ultimately, it's still the Bitcoin price, and we're still seeing very similar price structure at the moment. Because first of all, we saw that flash crash to the downside in the price of Bitcoin just a few weeks ago back here, and that was similar to this COVID crash right here. And then we saw pretty much a V-shaped recovery in the short term. And then ultimately that initial bullish relief, the initial recovery, basically played out into more of a sideways consolidation over the next little short term here. And then we saw a continued short-term bullish relief with another push to the upside in the short term, and then another pullback, basically pulling back down towards where that sideways consolidation was sitting at. But the important thing to watch out for was that the price previously back here did not break below these previous lows. If we broke below these previous lows, that would be bearish price structure, likely resulting in a pullback back down towards the next lows in the price of Bitcoin. But instead, what we saw back here during 2020 was the price of Bitcoin holding above these previous lows right here and ultimately forming a slightly higher low even after that short-term dump. And so within a few weeks and months later on, we saw a much larger recovery and a continuation of the bull market over the following months. And so for the Bitcoin bulls out there, it is important for the price to hold above these lows at around 57 to 58,000, because once again, if we start breaking back below these lows right here that I just mentioned, then in that case, expect a retracement back down towards this local low that we saw near the beginning of the month. And so in other words, if we start breaking below this price range right here, then in that case, expect the continuation of the larger bearish trend, which we are still in. But if we can actually hold these lows as support and actually bounce here over the next few days, over the next few weeks or so, then at least for now, while we're still holding above these lows, there is still hope in the short term for the price to potentially recover later on and continue in more of a bullish trend. There is still hope while the price is holding above these lows, but if we break back below these lows right here, then essentially expect the continuation of the larger bearish trend. And so that is the situation right now, just in the short term. Once again, we're now running into a critical area of support on the chart, but soon, just over the next 1 to 2 days, we're most likely going to basically stable out just in the short term over the next 1 or 2 days due to this RSI now entering into oversold territories. And with that being said, taking a look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, and we can see over the last 1 day, a lot of new liquidity suddenly popped to the downside after recording my last video. And we can see that since my last video, we've taken out a lot of that downside liquidity here. And so ultimately, we did see a decent amount of liquidations ever since basically we broke below this level right here. So once again, that was the level to get out of any long position, for example. And as for current liquidation levels to watch out for, we do have a little bit of liquidity at just above 57,000 to 57,500, give or take. And we have some more liquidity at around 65,000 to 65.2K. But with that being said, even though we have a decent amount of liquidity at just above 65,000, just based on that alone, that's not necessarily enough of a reason to expect the price to quickly go back up towards that level, because obviously, at least in the short term, we do have a little bit of bearish momentum as of right now. And obviously, we cannot forget about resistance that we now have between the current price and these higher levels of liquidity. But with that being said, if we're looking at the Bitcoin and crypto funding rates, what's very interesting is right now, almost the entire market out there is heavily shorting crypto, because almost all of these funding rates are extremely negative. They are well below the neutral rate, which is 0.01%. And so once again, this is telling us that at least for now, it's actually becoming more expensive to short crypto, as you're having to pay more and more in funding fees in order to short crypto. And basically the long positions out there, any long positions still remaining, that is, that did not get liquidated, basically they're earning those funding fees, because when the funding rates are negative, the long positions earn the fees and the short positions pay the fees. But with that being said, taking a look at Ethereum on the 3-day time frame, and as of right now, we've continued to see the rejection from this exact Fibonacci level of resistance that I've been warning about non-stop here on the channel, sitting at around 2.8K, which is pretty much exactly where we rejected from. And so ultimately, we're still currently within this larger bearish trend, as I've been saying for a long time now on the channel, forming lower highs and lower lows on the larger time frames, which is what a bearish trend is. But of course, during the bearish trend, from time to time, we can see some short-term bullish reliefs here and there during the larger bearish trend. So also keep that in mind. And as of recording this video, we're also potentially seeing a break below 2,500. So basically, we could end up seeing a continued retracement back down towards this golden pocket, sitting in between around 2150 to 2.2K as the next significant support. And if we're zooming into the short term, looking at the 6-hour time frame right now, obviously we are no longer repeating history. We're no longer playing out that previous fractal, which I've been talking about recently here on the channel, because obviously, as I talked about in my last video just yesterday, I said if we break back below around 2.6K, below this line right here, that is the point where all bets are off. That is the point where we're no longer repeating history and we're officially flipping bearish again in the short term if we break back below that level. And obviously the moment we broke below that level, we saw a lot more bearish price action. And so like I said yesterday, if we break back below this line of support, expect a quick move down towards around 2,500. And I said if we break back below 2,500, expect a move back down towards around 2.3k, which we are currently seeing play out as of recording this video. And so we're still likely going to see a move closer towards around 2.3k, but somewhere around there, we could potentially see a bit of a short-term bounce. So keep that in mind. Obviously, we're not going to go down all the way to zero in a straight line. We're going to see a bounce sometime soon, and it's likely going to be somewhere at around 2.3k, give or take. And it's also worth mentioning that at least for now, the 6-hour RSI is currently entering well into oversold territories, telling us that we've seen obviously a lot of selling pressure here in the short term, to the point where people are panic selling and getting liquidated, basically forcing the price to the downside very quickly. And ultimately, we have not seen this signal flash in the 6-hour RSI since around the beginning of this month. And if we take a look at the price action back then, we also saw a flash crash in the price, causing this oversold signal. But then not long after that signal flashed here in the RSI, within the next 1 to 2 days, we did actually see a decent bounce. And so once again, it's possible we could go a little bit lower before seeing a bounce, but basically sometime in the next 1 to 2 days, I do expect some sort of bounce to start playing out within the next 1 to 2 days as the most likely scenario, at least based on this RSI being in oversold territories. And if we're taking a look at Solana on the daily time frame, obviously the price exactly perfectly rejected from this exact area of resistance in between 159 to 163. So obviously, as I've been saying here on the channel, that is still the area of resistance to pay attention to. But if we were to see a breakout, obviously we have more resistance to the upside, but 159 to 163 is still the resistance to pay attention to for now. And as for support, we've basically rejected all the way back down towards this area of support, sitting in between around 139 to 144. So that's the support to pay attention to right now. But if we break back below this area right here, so if we start seeing, for example, daily candle closes back below 139, then in that case, expect a move potentially all the way back down towards this area of support in between 120 to 128. But once again, at least for now, the support to pay attention to is this area in between 139 to 144, considering at least for now, we have not yet broken below that area. And as for the trend and momentum as of right now, we're basically within a short-term sideways price range within a much larger sideways price range. So ultimately, the larger trend and even the shorter-term trends are actually relatively neutral, with relatively horizontal highs in the price and relatively horizontal lows in the price. But obviously during these large sideways price ranges, we can see a lot of short-term bullish price action and short-term bearish price action during the sideways price range, or the choppy sideways price action. And believe it or not, choppy sideways price action just like this is actually a gold mine in crypto. You can potentially make a lot of easy profits in crypto during choppy sideways price action just like this. And once again, if you want to trade these moves in the price of any crypto, check out those links down below this video to claim those extra bonuses. And if you want to actually know how to make money from crypto, no matter if the price is bullish, bearish, or chopping around sideways like right now, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.